Okay, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. We are streaming live via YouTube. I will be conducting the first appearance this morning. The defendant will be appearing via Zoom via the Clayton County Jail. I will make some opening remarks regarding your rights before I swear you in. Please pay close attention to my comments. At the concluding my remarks, I will give each defendant their first appearance hearing for this morning. So if each individual please raise their right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the information and testimony that you give to the court today will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This is your first appearance before Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case today or to take a plea. You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you, advise you of certain rights, set bail on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail, to schedule your preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you choose to give up this right, anything you say during these proceedings may be used against you if your case goes to trial. Doing this and all other court proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusations for misdemeanors. You also have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by subpoena. You have the right to testify and offer other evidence in your own defense, should you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, no presumption of your guilt may be raised. You have the right to have an attorney represent you during these proceedings and all other court proceedings. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail pending prosecution of your case, which may be by cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash, together with any applicable mandated fees to the sheriff's office, who will hold it until your final court date, at which time the cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it. If you use a commercial bonding company approved by the sheriff, someone will have to pay the company up to 15% of the total bond as their fee for their service. This fee will not be returned. Someone may post a bond using their property if they have net equity in the property in an amount equals to 3 times the total bond amount. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to or around certain places. This is a special condition that will be provided on your bond order. You will also be prohibited from calling or having contact with the alleged victim while you're in jail and upon your release. Should you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you will not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial. An additional charge of aggravated stalking, influencing witnesses, or other charges as the law may provide could be brought against you, for which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and fined up to $20,000. For family members who will assist you in posting bond, they will be provided with the information of your bond amount after we have concluded the first appearance calendar for today. If a family member is a victim on the warrant and there is a special condition that you're to have no contact with the family member, he or she will not be allowed to post bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is simply not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a superior court judge, and you will be informed of that date during your first appearance hearing. If you're currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond for you. Again, if you're currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond for you. Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has an opportunity to determine if they wish to file a warrant for violation of your probation. Usually, this is during your preliminary hearing. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to justify keeping you detained until such time as your case goes to trial. For those of you charged with misdemeanors only, you will have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Waiving your preliminary hearing will not affect your right to post bond, your right to have an attorney represent you if you qualify for one, or your right to a jury trial. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived, and you will be mailed a notice when to appear in state court for arraignment. If you cannot make bond, you may waive your preliminary hearing and be taken before a state court judge, at which time, if you plead guilty, you will be sentenced. If you plead not guilty, a trial will be scheduled on your behalf. If you choose to have a misdemeanor preliminary hearing, your hearing will be scheduled for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. For those of you charged with felony offenses, you will not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Your preliminary hearing will be scheduled for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. That will conclude my opening remarks. At this time, deputies, I will first take the female inmates and then proceed forward with the male inmates.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Felicia Atwater.
Hey, Ms. Atwater, you've been charged with one count of battery, family violence. Your bond amount is $4,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am. My mom have to do it for me.
Okay. If you can make bond, there will be a no contact on the alleged victim by the name of Willie Stalls,
Yes,
which means
ma'am.
you must stay away, absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by telephone, by third person,
Yes,
from the
ma'am.
person's home, workplace, and immediate family members of any witnesses. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Also, can you tell me who resides at 4735-A4 Courtney Drive, Forest Park, Georgia, 30294? I'm sorry, 30297. Who resides at that location?
I do.
Okay, does Mr. Starr reside there as well?
Yes, ma'am, we're roommates.
Okay, your roommates, and who's because he's indicated as your ex-boyfriend, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who's on, are both of you guys on the lease to that apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, because this is a family violence incident, I am going to prohibit you from returning to that location while you're out on the, okay? So you will need to make other arrangements.
Okay.
So let me include that on your bond order here.
Okay.
And then you understand you're not to violate any other laws while out on bond.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Now, so you did complete a request for court-appointed counsel. See here.
Yeah.
So you're, according to your responses, you're currently unemployed, correct?
I get Social Security benefits.
Okay. Okay, based on your response, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, and then I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
Keep it on the calendar.
Okay. So I went ahead and approve your request for a court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Jakora Butler.
Okay, Butler.
Jakora Butler.
Yes, I understand, Ms. Butler. I have your name. Ms. Butler, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is felony murder, and then the second offense is use of communications facility in violation of Georgia law. Because of the nature of your charges, I'm not authorized to set bail for you today. Only a Superior Court judge can do that. Therefore, there is a no bond. Do you understand the charges as well as the no bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I see on your court appointed form, you indicated that you have an attorney. Have you already hired an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then do you have the attorney's name?
Stephen Burney, something like that.
Okay, so since you're hiring your own attorney, you don't need a court appointed attorney, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I'm Felicia Atwater.
Okay, Ms. Green, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is battery. Your bond amount is $4,000. The second offense is cruelty to children in 3rd degree. Your bond amount is $3,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $7,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, I do have a question though. Do I pay the whole fine, or would that, if I go through bail fine, would that be 15%?
Well, it depends on how you pay, but that's something you can discuss with the bonding company. My only job here is to tell you what the bond amounts is. You'll be responsible for making the arrangements and the amounts. Okay. Okay. If you can you make bond?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is that you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Lashang Green, which means you must stay away absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by telephone from Ms. Green's home, her workplace. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I understand the alleged victim, is that your mom?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you reside together at this 7393 Terrell Road, apartment 105, Clayton County, Georgia?
Yes, but she on the lease, I'm not.
Okay. Well, that's the reason why I'm prohibiting you from returning to that location, because it's a family violence charge. I have to be able to separate you from the alleged victim. So I'm going to prohibit you from returning to that location. However, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property. You understand that? Those will be the conditions of your bond.
Okay.
Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Since you've only been charged with misdemeanors, you do have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Would you like to waive it or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the calendar.
Okay. And you understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you say you can make bond? Okay. Also, you did complete a request for a court-appointed attorney. You indicated, or you employed or unemployed? It's unclear from your response.
I'm supposed to start my job on the 23rd of January.
Okay. Okay, so currently you're unemployed. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and appoint a court-appointed attorney for you. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Hello,
Good morning. Please state your full name for the record for me.
LaShawn Green.
Okay, LaShawn. Okay, Ms. Green, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is simple assault. Your bond amount is $3,000. The second offense is criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $2,000. The third charge is cruelty to children in 3rd degree. Your bond amount is $3,000. And then the fourth charge is cruelty to children in 3rd degree. Your bond amount is $3,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $11,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay, can you make bond?
I don't know. I have to call around and see. I'm not sure.
Okay, I've scheduled your, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. Specifically, you have to have no contact with Felicia Green. I believe that's your daughter, correct?
Okay.
There's a no contact because she's the alleged victim in your case. That means you must stay away, absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by telephone, from Miss Green's, from Alicia's home, her workplace. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And then I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the course calendar. I have a question. I'm supposed to be at work tonight. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but I don't know my job number because they give us a call out number to call out. And my phone is improperly. So it's like, I need to get in touch with somebody at work. So I'm probably not gonna make mine tonight.
Okay, well, I have given you bond. It's up to you whether or not you can, it's up to you whether or not you can make arrangements to bond out, but I have given you bond.
No,
And then
no.
let me finish. And then I've also appointed you a court-appointed attorney to represent you since you qualify for one. So my only role here today is to see if you qualify for bond and to see if you qualify for court-appointed counsel. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
First and last name. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jalen Johnson.
Okay, 1 minute, let me pull your file here. Okay, Ms. Johnson, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is use of communication facility in violation of Georgia law, and then felony murder. Because of the nature of your charge, I'm not authorized to set bond for you today. Only a superior court judge can set bond. Do you understand the charges as well as the no bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and let's see, I've scheduled your next hearing date, which will be your preliminary hearing on January the 30th of 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. And then your bond hearing will be February the 3rd, 2023 via Zoom at 8:30 a.m. You understand those 2 different hearing dates?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, based on your responses, it does appear you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
First and last name.
Hi, Tasia Wilson. And Ms. Wilson, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is simple assault, family violence. Your bond amount is $3,000. The second offense is simple battery, family violence. Your bond amount is $4,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $7,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes.
So if you can make bond, Ms. Wilson, there will be special conditions included on your bond order as well, because this is a family violence matter. In this case, generally there's a no contact against the alleged victim. In this case, it's Sylvester Gibson. However, according to the victim's advocate, and I'll need you to put that on the record, Ms. Robinson, the victim has requested, instead of no contact, a no violent contact against the victim. Is that true or not true? I need you to put that on the record.
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
Okay, and what is true?
It is true that the victim, Sylvester Gibson, called in this morning and asked that there be a no violent contact for the defendant, Tasia Wilson.
Okay. So in light of the victim's request, he indicated because y'all live together and share children that it's going to be just a no violent contact. Do you understand that, Miss Wilson?
Yes.
So those will be the conditions of your bond. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Since you've been charged with misdemeanor, you have the option of waiving the preliminary hearing. Would you like to waive it or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the calendar, please.
Okay,
That's a
in
quick-
addition, one minute, in addition, it appears that you do not qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so you will have to hire your own attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take any questions now.
Oh, I just want to know, will I get the court date? Will it be
Yeah.
handed to me?
Yes, you mean your next court date is January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom.
Okay,
Any other questions?
oh, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
That's all the females.
Okay, that's all I have too. Okay, I'll then start with the males. I'll take the first male inmate.
Mr. Allen.
Okay, sir, if you would state your full name for the record for me.
It's Nicholas Allen.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you the first time. Mr. Allen, you've been charged with, it appears to be 6 offenses. The first offense is driving with a expired or invalid tag. The bond amount is $500. The second offense is driving without insurance. The bond amount is $1,000. The third offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond amount is $1,500. The fourth offense is being in possession of a weapon doing a crime. The bond amount is $10,000. The fifth offense is use or possession of drug-related items. The bond amount is $1,000. And then the last offense is open container in violation of Georgia law. The bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond amount is $14,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your response, sir.
Yes, I can.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing date for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes,
And then based on your application, your court-appointed application, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will approve your application. Do you have any questions?
no.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hold on one second. Yeah. Yeah, you might have to step back some.
Oh, yeah, because you're tall, yeah. Yeah.
Who do we, I'm looking for bail. Is this bail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, state your full name for me, sir.
Jakora Butler.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is aggravated battery. The second offense is giving an inmate guns, drugs, and or alcohol in violation of Georgia law. Because of your previous, because you're currently on active probation, there is a no bond. Do you understand the charges as well as the no bond?
I'm not on probation, ma'am.
Okay, according to your criminal history, sir, you were sentenced to 12 months probation for a battery charge on September the 6th of 2022. Does that sound familiar?
I did plead out of that. Yeah, I did plead out of that. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so that's the active probation. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
Your
my
next-
probation officer got to come and talk to me or something?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question, sir.
So a probation officer supposed to be coming to talk to me about this charge right here or something?
Well, they can decide if they want to request a warrant for probation revocation at your preliminary hearing. Okay, so your preliminary hearing is going to be scheduled for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that? You say yes, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir, based on your court-appointed form, it does appear you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
What's the name? Dunbar. Ma'am, who you want to see next?
Looks like it's gonna be, Carter.
Okay.
Do you have a Carter?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it, give me your full name, sir?
Yes, Carter.
I didn't see a court-appointed form for you, sir. Did you complete a court-appointed form?
Yes.
Okay, here it is, okay. Sir, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is criminal damage in the 2nd degree. The second offense is criminal trespass. The third offense is simple assault, and the 4th offense is theft by taking. Because you are currently on active probation, there's also a no bond with respect to your charges. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond?
Yes.
I
I heard it was a bond on one of my charges already for theft by taking.
It's 2,000, but because it's a no bond on all the other charges, it's a no bond. You understand that?
Would amount change? Would amount for that one bond change?
It's a preset bond of 2,000. But you wouldn't qualify for that, sir, because again, there's a no bond because you have an active probation. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, your next court date is scheduled for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. And then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand those 2 different court dates?
Yes.
Also, you did complete an application for court-appointed counsel. Based on your application, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will approve an attorney for you. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you, sir. That's your full name for me, sir?
Dawson Haynes.
What happened to Davis? I'm sorry, is it Davis?
I don't think that was.
Hey, do we have a Davis in here?
Davis.
No, you had somebody show up.
I need the DeMonte Lavon Davis.
You got like
Okay,
5
they got
minutes.
a-
No. We don't have Davis.
Yeah, that one is, repeating their work, and I don't. We don't have a Davis, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I do, so we'll need to find out, can you guys get him? Because he'll need his first appearance. I have a DeMonte Lavon Davis. So y'all need to get him or explain some reason why he's not there. So I'll move on to the next inmate and save him for last, but you will need to have him appear for his first appearance. You understand that, deputies?
Yep.
Okay, do you need his LE number or you have the information?
You have his information.
Okay. Okay, sir, give me your name again.
Dawson Haynes.
Okay, Haynes. So we have, I'll go ahead and do you, Mr. Haynes, but we have, let's see here. Okay, you're next. Mr. Green. What happened to Wesley Green? Is he not available either?
We don't have Wesley Green either.
Okay, so you're gonna go get him?
We're gonna find out why they're crossed off on our list.
Okay, well, I'll need that before we conclude first appearance today, okay? Because I'm not a judge that like to do continuance. I like to get them done, okay? So I'll need some valid reason as to why they can't appear today. Okay, Mr. Haynes, you've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is loitering or prowling. Your bond amount is $1,000. The second offense is obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Your bond amount is $2,000. The third offense is criminal attempt. Your bond amount is $2,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $5,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've also scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
Keep it on the calendar now, because she needs to. We need to tell her.
And then based on your court-appointed application, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will approve an attorney for you. Do you have any questions?
She ain't coming.
Any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You can go back to your house.
Okay, state your full name for me, sir.
Tyrone Jones.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, you've been charged with one count of aggravated battery. Because of your criminal history, there is a no bond on your charge as well. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. And then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Do you understand those two different hearing dates, sir? You understand the two different hearing dates?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, based on your court-appointed application, it does appear you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, state your full name for me, sir.
Do I take my mask off?
You can just pull it down so I can hear your name.
It's Marvin Francisco.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with one account of unlawful conduct during a 911 call. Your bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
I thought it was going to be getting an OR bond, or
No, sir. Only the chief judge can approve OR bond. So your bond amount is $1,500. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar, sir?
be the difference.
Well, the purpose of preliminary hearing is to see if you're unsure if you're going to make bond, I will leave it on the calendar. If you make bond, then it's automatically waived. You understand that? Your preliminary hearing. The purpose of preliminary hearing is to determine if there's enough probable cause or sufficient probable cause to continue to detain you. But if you've already made bond, it's not necessary. You understand that?
So I'd like to have the preliminary hearing.
Okay, no problem. And let's see here. You did complete an application for court-appointed counsel. Let's see here. Based on your court-appointed application, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, give me your full name, sir.
Sir,
Spell that for me.
RAMAATUSER, middle initial T, last name MGUNI.
Okay, just want to make sure I had the right person. Sir, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is driving under the influence of alcohol. Your bond amount is $10,000. The second offense is improper lane change. Your bond amount is $500. The third offense is open container in violation of Georgia law. The bond amount is $500. Then your fourth offense of drug-related items, your bond amount is $1,500. So therefore, your total bond amount is $12,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts? Sir, do you understand the charges?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to waive that or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the course calendar.
Okay, and can you make bond?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Also, it appears, let's see here, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Based on your application, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. How much for my bond again?
It's going to be 12,500. Any other questions?
No, not bad.
Okay, thank you.
Quantus Blood,
Spell your name for me, sir.
AQU. ANNIS.
Okay, spell your last name for me.
MILLETTE.
Hey, sir, you've been charged with two offenses. The first offense is interference with government property, but I think it's incorrectly identified as actually party to a crime. I'm sorry, Deputy.
They didn't fingerprint me on that tampering with government property. They just got they just charged me with party to a crime.
Do I have two offenses, interference with government property and then the party to a crime? So it's two offenses. Because you're also on active probation, there's a no bond on the charges. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond?
Yeah.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st because these are misdemeanors, January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yeah, so both of these charges are misdemeanors?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, then looks like you did complete a request for court-appointed counsel. See, and it does appear you qualify, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. You understand? Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah. The people that you were naming, they already
Yes,
had
sir.
first appearance. That's why they crossed off.
Can you give me the date? Well, they're not crossed out. Can you give me the dates they had first appearance?
It was
I was gonna
apparently,
say
it was apparently yesterday.
Well, Miss, okay, let me have Miss, because she was on yesterday. I have Miss Mary check that. We still have one other inmate. Is it Miranda? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have Miss Mary. Do you need the names to check, Miss Mary?
I do. I know one is Wesley Green, right? What's the other one?
Yes, Wesley Green, and then the other individual would be,
Davis.
yes. DeMonte Davis.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll take the next inmate, please. Take the full name for me.
Saul Miranda.
Hey, sir, you've been charged with two offenses. The first offense is battery, family violence, and then the second offense is criminal trespass, family violence. Your bond amount for the battery charge is $4,000. Your bond amount for the criminal trespass is $2,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $6,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes.
Okay. If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Perez Gonzalez. You must stay away absolutely directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You cannot contact her through a third person. You cannot contact her at home or her workplace. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, because the alleged incident occurred at 4221 Thurman Road, Clayton County, Georgia, you're not to return to those premises while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
No.
Okay. Also, you cannot violate any other laws while out on bond. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and then based on your application, let's see here. You say you're employed. I can't read what your monthly income is. Can you tell me what your monthly income is, sir?
My mom?
Your monthly income or your court appointed application?
Like 3,000 or more.
Okay, 3,000, okay.
Like more.
Based on your responses, you do qualify for a court appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? Any questions, sir?
No questions.
Okay, thank you.
You know what, sir? Go ahead, you go ahead. You know where you are? Go ahead, but let them, what's your name? Your Honor, we have Hudson, this is the fugitive.
Okay, y'all told me he was on somebody else's calendar. But I'm ready to go.
I'm
Before I
sorry, but yeah, Lieutenant brought him down. So he,
Okay. Well, that's why I always like to confirm with you guys when you're giving me information.
right, I know, this is my first day back in court. I came from the annex, Judge. I'm gonna see if I can talk to Lieutenant to get some stuff together here, so. It's,
Okay.
I apologize, but we confused too. Go ahead, sir.
Well, first, before I do him, let me just confirm there are no other first appearance. Miss Mary, did you have Wesley Green on your list from yesterday?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so we didn't, Wesley Green didn't have his first appearance yesterday. Deputy, I'm sorry, give me your last name. Deputy.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me your last name.
Crowder?
Yes, we didn't do that, according to my judicial assistant, we didn't do Wesley Green yesterday for first appearance. So he hasn't had his first appearance, or Davis.
See, that's,
So I'm gonna do the extradition hearing. If you could get those two inmates for me.
Judge, while you're doing him, I'm gonna call classifications.
no, it's, we had those individuals marked out on the counter, Your Honor, and I'm sorry, I don't know. I was wondering why it was marked out too, so. I mean,
But they're not marked out on my calendar, so I'm gonna have Miss, you say you're gonna call classifications, Miss Mary?
Yeah, I am while you're doing the fugitive.
Okay, and then, depending on their status, if necessary, we'll go off the record briefly to see if you guys can get them, to the pod. Okay, thank you. Okay, state your full name, for me, sir?
Garrett Hudgens.
Okay, Mr. Hudgens. My name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. I'm here to conduct what we call an extradition hearing. You are a fugitive at justice, and a warrant has been issued for your arrest. To be clear, you do not have charges pending against you in Clayton County, Georgia. You have been brought to the court today because of charges you have pending against you in the state of Florida. I'm sorry, in the state of Texas. And the state of Texas requested that you return to answer the charges against you for failure to appear. Do you recall having any charges pending in the state of Texas, sir?
Yeah, I do now.
Okay. In accordance with the laws of the state of Georgia, you have been brought before me for an explanation of these proceedings. You have the right to contest the legality of the warrant, okay, with respect to the state of Texas and all extradition proceedings, or you may waive your right to an extradition proceeding and voluntary return to the state of Texas requesting your detention. Before you inform me of whether you wish to waive extradition, which means you're going to return to the state of Texas, or if you're going to contest it, which means you're going to remain here in Georgia, let me explain the following rights to you. First, you have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Secondly, if you desire to contest the legality of the extradition proceedings, and you must file or have filed on your behalf what we call a writ of habeas corpus. You will be allowed a reasonable amount of time to file such writ. You may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition on 4 grounds. The first ground is whether or not the extradition documents are in order on their face. The second ground you can contest is whether you are charged with a crime in a demanding state, which is the state of Texas in this case. The third ground is whether you are the person that is in fact named in the request for extradition. And then the fourth is whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest your issue of guilt or innocence in the state of Georgia. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in deciding whether to contest or waive extradition if you so desire. If you waive extradition and return to the state of Texas, they will have 30 days to come get you. If the state of Texas has not picked you up in 30 days, you will be released. If you contest the extradition and the state of Texas is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days while awaiting extradition. So my question to you is do you understand your rights first? Do you understand your rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And then my second question to you is do you wish to waive extradition and return to the state of Texas to answer the charges against you? Or do you wish to have formal extradition proceedings? Do you understand the two options, sir?
Yeah, I think I would like to return to Texas as soon as possible.
Okay. If you return to that means you're waiving extradition. That means they will have 30 days to come get you. You understand that?
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
I can't, I only can answer with respect to your rights in the extradition proceeding, sir. Is that what your question is related to?
I was wondering who is going to come get me from Texas, my parents or the state?
Well, no, it will be the state. It will be officials, law enforcement from the state of Texas.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then if you waive extradition, you will need to sign 6 forms. Well, it'll be 6 copies of the same form waiving your extradition. And then upon your signature, sir, I will sign as well. And then then you will proceed forward with the waiver. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the deputies will have 6 forms for you to sign. Once you sign them, they will return them to me for me to sign. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, deputies, if you will take care of those forms for me and get them sent to me within the hour, I would appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and start signing, sir. Keep the top copy for yourself. Keep one for yourself and just put all the 7 forms.
Take us off YouTube, but don't let anybody leave.
Okay. We're gonna go at the brief recess, and then if it's necessary to conduct